If you're a remote sales closer who's tired of making the excuse of my pricing's too high or the leads are just bad, and deep down you know the real problem isn't the leads, it's what happens inside your head during the sales call, then this video is for you. If you're struggling to close sales calls on a consistent basis or even close your first sales call and you're tired of hearing the same old objections because nobody wants to buy from you, then good news, you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how remote sales closers can increase their close ratio to 25 to 40% consistently. And that's without being pushy, manipulative, or sounding like a stereotypical salesperson. How do I know that this can help? Well, first of all, my name's Trent Harris, and last year alone, I generated $128,000 in revenue for the company I was closing for in my very first year. But what most people don't know is that I actually started out completely on the other side of this. I struggled to close sales calls for a long stretch of time, and it was the one final skill that I needed to start making a lot of money and living a life of freedom. I couldn't put a grasp on what I was doing wrong that was causing people to not trust me and to have deals go left when I was on the call. I knew that there needed to be a change. I just didn't know what that change was until I landed a remote sales job where I was able to learn from people that were much farther ahead in sales than I was. And after learning the game from them, I finally came to the conclusion. And what I discovered through the last year of working for the company is that closing sales isn't just about scripts or tactics alone. It's much deeper than that. I learned that the best closers in the world aren't just good at sales. They've mastered something which is more critical, and that is the internal game of sales. And now I'm dedicated to coaching others who are in the same position that I was, who want a new way of living instead of going to a 9-to-5 job every day just to retire around the time that you're about to die from old age. And you're probably thinking that this goes against the norm of what sales experts on YouTube teach, right? Write the script, adapt the script, study the script. Whenever something goes wrong, they put the blame on the script instead of holding the closer accountable themselves. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a good script, but a good script will only take you so far when the person who wants to deliver it has reached a level of excellence themselves. And what this means is that rewiring your entire belief system to become the person that attracts sales rather than chasing them is necessary. And what I help people with is completely different from normal because it's about combining both good habits with sales skills. And I call this the mindset integrated sales system because the truth is sales performance is broken down into 3 simple things working together: identity, mindset, and skill set. Let me just give you some context here. I originally started out my journey running my own SMMA agency. I was getting leads, booking calls, doing everything my mentors told me to do, but there was one major problem. When it came time to close and actually finish these deals on sales calls, I fumbled so many deals. Prospects would say, "The price is too high. I need to think about it. Send me some more information. Now's not the right time." And I kept telling myself the same story that most unsuccessful closers tell themselves. The leads are bad. People don't trust sales over Zoom calls. But eventually that's when I came to my realization that it wasn't just the leads, it was me. I'm in control of everything, and therefore I need to take responsibility for everything. So that's why I decided to go work for a company in remote sales role so that I could learn what it took to master the art of sales. And within a year, I became one of the top producers on the team and generated $128,000 in revenue for the company. And when people asked me what the big change was, they got an answer that they weren't expecting. It was my mindset and identity shift and discipline on these sales calls. So now when I work with remote closers, we focus on 3 things. Step 1, the internal game of sales. Your identity as a closer determines how you're going to show up on each sales call. If you subconsciously see yourself as someone trying to convince people, you'll hesitate. Top closers see themselves as trusted advisors. Step 2, emotional control on live sales calls. Sales calls are emotional environments. Prospects push back, they try to test you, and they hesitate. Closers who lose emotional control lose the sale. Closers who stay calm control the frame of the conversation. In step 3, mindset integrated sales execution. Now, this is where skill meets psychology. You learn how to handle objections without pressure, guide prospects through decisions, and close naturally without sounding pushy. So now that you know the mindset integrated sales system will get you to a consistent close ratio of 25 to 40%, and you know the key shifts that need to happen in order to get there, you may still be thinking, I'm not a pushy salesperson. People won't pay me thousands of dollars on a call. I don't know how to handle objections. Well, that's fine. I get it. This is exactly why I started the Remote Closer Accelerator, to help ambitious remote closers build trust with their prospects, making money by having simple conversations with people and live a life of freedom to do the things they want to do. In the Remote Closer Accelerator, we help sales closers install 3 main systems into their human hard drive. Those 3 systems are: number 1, identity transformation as a closer, because the most important thing is building the foundations for success, which means rewiring your brain to build the correct habits and an unbreakable mindset that is needed to close deals. And in this stage, we teach the psychology of high-performing closers, detachment from the outcome, and identity over technique. And number 2, emotional mastery during sales conversations. So being in control of the sales call at all times is key if you want to make money and hear the words, yes, I'm all in. There are many emotional triggers that can instantly kill a deal, but guess what? If you eliminate them, the prospect has no choice but to throw their money at you. And during this stage, we express the importance of being in the driver's seat, having confidence, which builds trust, and certain triggers to look for in a prospect that will help out later in the call when it's time to go for the close. And then number 3, skill-based sales execution that feels natural. After gathering information about the prospect throughout the sales call, it's time to put that information to use against them so that they can truly see that you are the bridge that will take them from one side of the cliff to the other. And during this stage, we teach how to relate each sale to the prospect's unique situation to minimize objections, and if objections do arise, how to conquer them. And you might be wondering, Trent, how on earth do I implement all this for myself? And honestly, it's pretty simple. You join our community of legendary remote closers and become a member of the Remote Closer Accelerator. And here's the truth. If you keep focusing only on scripts or blaming things other than yourself, your close rate will never improve, because sales performance starts inside of you as the closer. And let me ask you this, what's the cost of you staying comfortable? What's the cost of you not taking the next step after you watch this video? If you aren't constantly moving forward, then you're moving backwards. So if you're a remote closer who wants to consistently close 25 to 40% of your sales calls, just drop me a DM on Instagram with the word closer, and I'll show you exactly how I can help you implement this system so you can start making consistent sales and having the freedom to live the life that you've dreamed of.